Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope the sound quality has been solved and it's getting better. I just got back to Asia yesterday, and so I hope the internet is good. I hope the sound is a bit better. Trust me, I'm gonna give my best. Saratar, a friend of mine who's a large YouTuber in Germany, advised me on a microphone that I should use, a little headset. I ordered that, so let's see how that's gonna go, and let's see how then the quality is gonna go. If you're coming in, do me a quick favor, drop me a quick line where you're coming in from. Always interesting. I think today we have a very important topic, and we have this topic on crypto markets are going up. Crypto markets are, we're starting to bull run, and I receive a lot of questions from people who say, hey, listen, Julian, markets are going up. Am I missing the trend? Should I invest? How much should I invest? Should I be going all in? And this is something I do want to cover today, simply because, well, I think this can be quite dangerous. There can be a lot of opportunity, and there can be a lot of danger. So that is why I really want to talk about this. And let's go straight away in. We have seen a big boom up. It's been something that 2 weeks ago I posted where I said, hey, listen, I think it might be interesting right now to go into the markets and look at crypto. If you're coming in, could you also tell me how is the sound? I hope the sound quality is a lot better than in the past days. Let me know if the sound is good or if I have to adjust. I kind of try to play around with the settings so to have a loud and hopefully crystal kind of sound. So I think this will be good. So 2 weeks ago, I posted that I think we might have seen a bit of a bottom and markets are starting to go up. And I also invested, and I told some of you, if you have some funds, it might also be interesting. Right now, crypto, Bitcoin, let's talk about the large markets. Bitcoin hit around 9,000, and it's looking, thanks so much. So Urs said, sound is good. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. I hope, we're going to work on that. So that's going to be important. Bitcoin hit 9,000, and it's quite interesting now. I don't think that our bear downtrend that we started to see in December is over yet. I think Bitcoin would need to hit over 12,000. I am not a technical analyst. It's not me, but this is just when I talk to some friends who are technical analysts. And you know me, I'm not someone who believes much in technical analysis, especially in the short term. Now, I do think, obviously, you can see some kind of trends and you can see some resistances. I think this is quite relevant. But I think Bitcoin would need to push above 12,000 to really kind of break out this trend. And let's hope this works, and let's hope Bitcoin and the other cryptos have enough power. However, I still think that Bitcoin is going to be the major kind of trendsetter here. So I don't think the altcoins can set a trend or can actually overpower Bitcoin. I personally don't think this. Short term, yes, but long term, I don't think right now any of the altcoins have the power to go through. So if we look at the bit of a longer term trend, Bitcoin would have to break out of the 12,000 to see some, to kind of see some breakthroughs. And that's kind of the major thing. But so let's put this aside. I really want to tackle this question, should you be going all in right now? And if you just want to quit this video and you just want to have a short answer, then the answer is no, you should actually never go all in. You should always consider that there are both options possible. Bitcoin right now could have a massive run and we could shoot up to 50,000 straight away. Something I don't think is likely that we're going to go all the way through. I think it's more likely Bitcoin is going to go higher now. But hey, listen, there's always this possibility that Bitcoin halves again and we see 5,000, right? I don't think this is likely, but it's possible. And this is really important. In no asset class, no matter what this is, real estate, stocks, gold, bonds, or crypto, whatever you want to invest in, should you ever go all in? There's always massive risk attached, especially when you talk about something as volatile as crypto. So if you sit here now and you have some money on the side and you think, should you be investing, then I think it is a good time to invest in crypto, just as it was 2 weeks ago, but don't go all in. Don't go all in with everything you have, and don't go all in with everything you want to deposit. So let's say, just a hypothetical, you have $10,000 and that's kind of your liquid capital. Then, and I'm going to give you other scenarios as well, but let's say you have $10,000 on the side. Then I would probably go with around $1,000. And this is quite interesting for crypto. And then I would probably split these 1,000 and keep 500 on the side and put 500 in right now. I think this makes a lot of sense right now. So 500 in, that's 5% of your entire capital. I think that's absolutely doable from a risk perspective, right? So you put in 500, pick some large coins. Personally, you know me, I have the majority of my money in Bitcoin, Ether, and my own company, 10x Pay, simply because these three I can trust the most. I see the least downside. For especially 10x Pay, you might not have the same kind of knowledge, so you might want to focus on Bitcoin and Ether. This is up to you. Or you pick some other companies that you really trust, right? So pick large ones. If you have other coins that are big and serious, you can obviously also put those in, but that's completely up to you. And then you have 500 in there now. Let's say the unlikely scenario occurs and Bitcoin 5x's, the entire market 5x's now. So it goes from, let's say, 9,000 to 45 or 50,000. I think this is not going to happen, but let's say, hey, come on, your $500 would 5x and you would make $2,500, $3,000. That's quite good money if you compare this to your $10,000. So you've made 20, 30%, which is really a lot on your total net worth, right? You can look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, actually, the reason he became such a prominent billionaire was because he made on average 20 to 30% per year. That's all, 20 to 30%. But he made this over 30, 40, 50 years, maybe even more. I think he made it over 70 years, right? So 70 years and 20% a year, that's insane. That's so much, right? So if this is your goal, then you're actually going to do really well. Now, let's say the more likely scenario happens, right? So I don't think the market's going to go through. I don't think that. I think the markets are going to go up right now. Not super aggressive, but they're going to go up. So you're going to have a second opportunity to put in the other $500. So in total, you have invested $1,000 at a really good kind of price, right? So the markets might go up a bit, might go down a bit. And so if you feel there's a dip again, you can put in the other $500 and then you've kind of cost averaged in a bit. So that's really important. Now here's the key. The key is in highly volatile assets, you have to play as safe as possible. And the best solution is wait maybe until the market sack down again. This is the more unlikely scenario, I think, right now, but it's possible. Let's say the markets go down again and you bought Bitcoin now at 9,000. Let's say it goes down to 6,000. So we have a 33% drop. Well, you have another $500 and you can invest those. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a very nice cost average in this. So you play it safe. And then you kind of played it even safe. If you think that the markets can go down even further, why don't you triple? So let's put $333, $333, $333. And that gives you a really, really, really nice overview. And that's the example with, let's say, $10,000. I think if you also have, let's say, $1 million liquid, you could do something very similar, right? I still think with $1 million, I would probably put in, let's say, 100,000 on the side. And let's split this. You put 50,000 in right now, and you keep the other 50,000 and wait a bit because same kind of scenario. 50,000. First of all, it's doable with most exchanges. You can get the limits, and you can really you can have the nice, interesting kind of relative back and forth. There's one example to this, and this one exception, and this one exception is, and pay attention to this. Don't misquote me, or don't misbehave now. Don't take this for yourself when you know this is actually not yourself. You just want this to be yourself. If you are really, really, really young, and for me, really, really young is probably you're still in university or you're still in college, you're probably 20 or even 18, 19, or you're in your early 20s, and you have maybe, let's say, $500 or $1,000 on the side. That's all you have ever saved up. That's all you have right now. Then you might consider having a really long horizon. And a long horizon means 5 or 10 years, right? Really, really long horizon. So if you can have 7 to 10 years horizon, then this makes a lot of sense. Then you could consider investing all the $1,000 right now and just let it ride. So you basically write it off. The minute you invest this $1,000, you write it off. You're like, I invested this. I might never see it back. And it's going to be a long shot. Now, pay attention. This is really important. Don't do this if you have a lot of money on the side and you're not willing to lose this kind of money. I understand that maybe right now $500 or $1,000 is a lot of money for you, especially when you're younger. However, there will be a time, hopefully, where you make $500 or $1,000, you make this in your salary, or you make this when you work on a weekly or maybe on a monthly basis, right? Depending on what kind of job you have or depending on what kind of productivity you can achieve. And this is a really important concept. if you do this when you are older, and older, look, I consider myself older there already, over 30, I would not take that risk because many times you have other obligations, you have a family, you have other things. I would never go all in. But when you are a bit younger and you have very little obligations and you have all the productivity ahead of you, you can risk 100% of your capital if your capital is quite small, because $500 or $1,000 what is very difficult to save up in these early years because you don't have much output yet. You're still in the learning process. But going forward, $500 or $1,000 are quite easy to earn. So if you have a long-term horizon, this is really, really, really important, okay? So don't do this if you have too much money on the side and it's risking too much. Don't do this if you are a very short-sighted person where you're like, man, if I lose $500 right now, nightmare. Don't do this. Don't. This is really, really important. Do this only if you're insanely young and you still have your entire productivity ahead of you and you have a long-term vision, a long-term horizon. Because the odds, and this is really important, the odds, if you take this $1,000 right now and you can wait 7 to 10 years and you can really wait there a bit, then it's, and this is important, I see that there's some people who say, hey, thanks for the financial advice. I'm not giving you any financial advice, right? I'm telling you what I have done and what I would do again had I to live those last 15 years as well. This is not financial advice. This is just stuff that I think I would have done, right? So this is really, really important. So you take these $1,000 and you let it ride. You write it off the day you invested and you let it ride. Split it into 2-3 large coins, right? Same kind of concept, but you have a long-term horizon. Now here's what's going to happen. In the worst case, you lose the $1,000. Chances are, if 10 years later, let's say you're 30 and you look back, $1,000 losing, yes, it's hurtful and everyone hates losing $1,000, but probably it's not going to be the end of your life, right? Really probably. On the other hand, if those $1,000, 10x, 20x, 100x, and $1,000 become $50,000 or $100,000, totally different ballgame, right? That really changes your life. If you're 30 and you have $100,000 on the side, man, this can pay off your student loan, this can buy you a new car, this can be the down payment, or this can buy you an entire kind of apartment or even a house, depending on where you live. So this can really change your life. I would only do this, pay attention to this, only do this if you're, I don't know, end teens or early 20s, right? And you can have a $500 or $1,000 and you can let this thing ride. This is the only time that I would personally invest all my money. If I'm, let's say 32, I have, let's say, $10,000 on the side, I would never invest all of that money into crypto. Split it into a little bit of gold, a little bit of real estate, a little bit of stocks, have an ETF savings plan, and do some crypto. If crypto goes up, fantastic, you're going to be really, really happy. If it goes down, like it did in the past 5 months, you're not going to have bad dreams. And this is something that's really, really, really important, and you need to go and take this really rationally about this. So, important, I cannot individually advise you what to do because I'm not allowed to advise anything in financial terms, right? I'm just telling you some experience on how I approach certain things and what I do. And if you think this is absolutely crap and bullshit, then do it differently, but think rationally. If you think this kind of makes sense, then apply this to your own life. Don't take too much risk. Crypto is risky in itself, but you have such insane upsides. I just saw that someone said, hey, that's how I bought Ether at $7. That's how I bought Ether at $8, right? I didn't buy it at 7, I bought it at 8, and I let this thing ride. And this is the power of it all. So this is when it gets really, really interesting. And that's, in my opinion, what you should be doing. So I hope that gives you some input. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to have more of this, if you want to be notified the next time I go live, then subscribe to my channel, click the little bell button, and very interested to hear your opinion. Let me also maybe know in the comments below if you think the market is going to ride further up, if it's going to go further down. I think always very interesting. Hey, so with this, I'm trying to get better with my sound. This hurts a lot when people tell me Julian's brand is bad audio. I hope I can get rid of that. I don't want to have that. Sometimes it's always a bit difficult, especially with all the traveling and all the stuff I'm doing. But trust me, I want to give value and I want to help there. For those that are asking, yes, we're going to do German right afterwards. So don't worry, always English first. We're going to do German afterwards. Have a nice Sunday. Stay cool, stay relaxed, and yeah, thanks so much. I'll see you at the next video. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.